Hey everyone, this is Kendra. Uplifting conversations with Kendra. Ooh, ooh. I'm so glad you could join us today. Today's topic is purpose. My girls have come up with a list of questions for me, but that's the topic. It's purpose. All the questions revolve around that one word. That's a huge word to me, purpose, because it took me a minute to find mine. But my baby Alicia is behind the camera today. Jasmine is not here, but she says hello. My baby says peace. um, so let's get started.
Yes, so the first question for today is, so what is purpose?
Okay, when I looked up purpose, I just put it in my little Google search on the phone. And it says, purpose is the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. That made me think about us and why we're here. But when I was reading all the extra information that came with just that meaning, because Google would throw up 12 things at once and you can go down the line and figure out which one you want. But it was one that was published on January 10th, 2018 that says 6 ways to overcome isolation and discover your purpose in life. And the first thing it said was read. I was like, oh my goodness, because that was my thinking. It said read, period. Then it says reading connects us to people we'll never know across time and space, an experience that research says is linked to a sense of meaning and purpose. Okay, so when we talk about reading, the first thing that came to my mind is reading the word. How else are you going to find your purpose? And it says it connects us to people we'll never know. Well, for the Bible, that's opposite. It'll connect you to God the Father, which you will get to know by reading his word, but you will also find yourself in those scriptures. Okay, question number 2.
Okay, question number 2 is purpose something that finds us over time, or are we responsible for actively seeking it?
I believe that is both. All I can do is give you a little bit of my journey, and everybody knows I love to talk. I've always loved to talk. When I would get my report card, they would put most talkative on the report card, meaning I didn't need to talk so much in class. But I've always been a talker. I've always been a word person. So what God did for me, and I've always been a reader. That's the why that read being the number one thing to do of the 6 ways to overcome isolation and discover your purpose in life was really profound that they had it in there like that. But speaking is what I call it now. But just talking to people is something I've always loved to do. And later on in life, as I began to understand my purpose, what God was doing, he was taking what he'd already given me and helping me to use it towards his purpose. Now, our purpose for being here is found in Ephesians 1 and 2. We are here to worship and obey God, to adore God, to praise, honor, and give God glory. We are here to share Jesus, the Spirit, and God with everyone we come in contact with, which is why the reading of the word is so important, because that's how you're going to get to know them. But that over time happens. It doesn't, you're not born knowing what your purpose is all the time. You have to learn your purpose. You have to know what you do well without thinking twice about it. And so speaking for me is one of those things. It's just, I speak and I read, and now just using my voice, using what God gave me to speak as an oracle of God, to speak the truth. And I know I hurt a lot of people when I do. I hurt myself sometimes, because in speaking the truth, you also have to live the truth. But it becomes easier to do once you figure out what you've been doing well throughout your whole life, and using that talent or skill that God actually gave you, began to use that for God's purpose. And the way you find God's purpose is through his word. So God has a purpose for your life, because you're not here just by happenstances. You are here for a purpose. Okay, next question.
Yes. So question number 3 is, if we are not living in purpose, what are we doing every day?
If you're not living in your purpose, I believe there are a lot of us who are looking for our purpose. I believe there are a lot of us who are trying different things, trying to figure out what their purpose is, why they exist. I hear that a lot, especially when I'm talking to the younger generation. Why am I here? Why is this happening to me? And your life happens in a way where God knows you will get it. So he designed and created your heart, your mind. So he knows what it'll take for you to get on the track that he wants you to be on. But a lot of us are only existing, and then the other part of us are just surviving. I spent a few years in survival mode myself, so I'm no stranger to it. I spent a couple more years just existing, kind of floating through life, doing what is acceptable to the everyday person: work, school, church, home, raise the kids, beat the kids, cuss the kids, you're taking everything out on the kids, because that was that existing. And then the survival mode, running from abuse with anything that I could, that I thought was okay. So a lot of us are doing that, and we're going to find out that those things can't fill that void that we have, and they can't bring on any real worth to our lives. We must continue to search for our purpose, but our purpose is found in Jesus Christ. So I'm always gonna go back to Jesus. There's no other way that's the only way we're gonna make it, is being with Jesus, and that's why I keep saying that. So every day we need to be looking to Jesus for our purpose. Even right down to something just as simple as getting up, saying, "Okay, Lord, what do you want me to do today?" You're searching for your purpose. And I think God appreciates us doing that, and acknowledging that he is in control of our life, even if we're only admitting it in that moment. He really is in control. Next question.
The final and last question is there hope for those that are older, that haven't been walking in their purpose yet?
Oh, as long as you got breath in your body, there is hope for you to find your purpose. There's hope for you to find that relationship with Jesus, the Father and the Spirit. As long as you got breath in your body. The older generation has been taught that I'm an old dog and you can't teach me new tricks, and that's not true. Your mind, God even says it in Romans, I think it's Romans 12, we can renew our minds every day. But the way he asks us to renew our minds is through the word. That's the way we renew. So we can renew our minds every day. That means we can learn something new every day. Every time I read these scriptures, I learn something new. Every time I go to work, I learn something new. When I'm listening to the children, I learn something new. When I listen to my young women talk to me, I learn something. I'm learning from every facet of my life, and it's a never-ending journey, and I love it because it keeps me energized. I want to know more. The more I know, the more I want to know. And I believe that's the way it is with Christ. The closer you are to him, the more you obey him, the more you want to, because you're sitting on the edge of your seat now wanting to know, what is he going to do next with your life? How else is he going to use you to help edify somebody else? How is he going to use your purpose to get somebody to come to him and find their purpose, and then they're going to do the same thing with the next person? So I believe as long as we have breath in our bodies, we have no excuse. We need to look for our purpose, and we need to look for it in Jesus. Is there anything else?
No, that was the last.
That was it. Yes. That was the last question. But I don't want to just sign off. What I want to do is let you know that I'm having a WOW conference November 6th, Saturday, from 1 to 5 at Smith Springs Church of Christ. That is 2783 Smith Springs Road, Nashville, Tennessee, 37214. And you need to go on eventbrite.com if you're interested in coming. Tickets are $27 general admission, $42 VIP. And VIP, you can expect in your bag free t-shirt, a free book, and some other things. But you will be sitting front row, sitting next to the speakers. The keynote speakers will be Erica White, Avril Munoz Phillips, Kendra M. Young, me. Hey! And we can't wait to see you. And I hope you go on eventbrite.com and look us up. Hit that pink icon, $27 or $42. I promise you it'll be worth every penny. But for now, have a great week and be lifted up.